Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for doing a good job so far. I really appreciate that. But I have some questions about the $9.5 million. And to me, it seems like as the Executive Director of Administration, Executive Director of Treasury, how come you guys didn't know? That's really, I think that's the big question a lot of the tribal members, want to, and I got a few more questions. Another thing too, our Constitution states that before we can move on to another level of court, we have to go through the tribal court first, or tribal court first. So why are we waiting for the NIGC and the other people to do something? My past experience with those people is that they're going to drag it out, drag it out, drag it out, and drag it out. But right now, our people are hurting for $9.5 million. So why can't we have action now, and you guys start prosecuting these guys through a tribal court, and then we take it on up to federal court?
Thank you. The first question was fair. We were invited, along with legislators back then and some other senior staff, I guess you could say, in the past administration, to a meeting with the casino level also. And we were introduced to the presentation by UEG for poker tribes. And it was only poker tribes at that time. And we were, from our understanding of this, was that the governor at the time could only sign up to $500,000. And so she brought to us and asked the question, well, the letter of intent, does everybody in here want to go move forward with this and sign it and do the letter of intent? And because she only had that much she could sign. And so that was the only thing that we knew at the time that she was going to sign for, was that amount. Beyond that, it's all beyond our control about what they did and how they did it. According to the Constitution, you've got to take gaming management contract to the legislation, to tribal council for additional approval for those kinds of contracts. That never happened.
Was that a gaming management contract?
Depends on how you define it, but either way, it should have been taken to another body to sit there and say, we need approval for spending 5.3 or whatever that amount was for poker tribes. And it wasn't until way later in the year, because around that time, I think it was like three days after that, that's when the banks froze. So we were in another scramble about trying to stay afloat and making sure federal programs were functioning, operational, and staying in business, as far as giving assistance 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week for those employees and for those programs. Whereas gaming, we took hits, furloughs, 20% cut pay, 20% cut time of your hours, lack of assistance given to elders, crisis, etc. So we were in a scramble for all that. All this time, they were paying out of Kent with Tonga. And we had no idea, the Treasury had no idea that money, because that money never came into through the Treasury. But up until we found out more about bingo tribes, that's when he exposed what was going on, asked questions. And then obviously the end result was him getting fired because he was asking all these questions about why this wasn't coming through the Treasury. So that's kind of hopefully answered your question on that issue. And I'd enjoy trying to look at the routes of going through tribal court to make sure we get something done on this. It's just trying to put together that story and making sure that we're going to have something that sticks with what's going on. Anybody else?